Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel again. So in last couple of videos we have seen a lot of different topics. So including that topic we have created a virtual environment in Python, and inside that we have installed all the dependency that is being needed in this project. So if you don't remember, we are making a power generation project where we are doing all sort of ETL project, creating a virtual environment, and then we picked a data set from Kaggle. Then we push that data into our local system, so that local system will act as a source of the data set. And then we used a tool called Mage. So Mage AI is a tool that we are using here for orchestration process. We have created the all sort of script that like data loader script, transformation script, and exporter script. And then we have pushed the entire data set to our SQL server. So the SQL server is internally on-premise loaded. So that's how we have completed till now. Today's video we are going to cover how to create a simple or like a first view of a Power BI dashboard with the data that we have in our SQL server. So let's go ahead and create one. Okay, so let's go back to our code editor. Okay, so what are the steps that we are going to follow? So the first step that we have to follow is we have to load data from the SQL server, this one. So we already have a SQL server setup. So if you remember, we in the last section I have showed you like how exactly we are going to set up a SQL server, or how exactly push the data into the SQL server. So if you have missed that video, you can absolutely go back and have a look there. Otherwise, in this video we are going to see whether the data where the data is stored. So if we click on database, and we have a database name Mage AI, and inside the Mage AI we have two tables, so plant 1 and plant 2. So let's see some of the data inside plant 1. So if you see, we have we have all data here for plant 1. Similarly, for the same thing we have it for plant 2 also, same sort of data, it's not different. So we have very similar data for both plant 1 and plant 2. The only difference is the plant names. So let's quickly go through the script again, what we have to do. So the first, we have to load it from this server. So this is my server name, laptop, this one. So for you, if the data is on cloud, if the data is somewhere else, you can go ahead and use that data source. For me, the source is my on-premise SQL server, so I will go ahead and use this. And then I will create a column in Power BI itself, name as plant 1 and plant 2 in Power BI, so that while what I am thinking of doing is like I will concat both the data into a single data set with the extra column name as plant 1, plant 1, plant 1, and for similarly for plant 2 will have repeated plant 2 names. Okay, and one more thing, like if you want to create some sort of logos for your that should be a best practice, that we should create some sort of logos that you can use going forward. So if you want to use logo, you can go to this website. I will put this in description. So this is a simple logo generator. So what you can do is you can here you can see those logos are there. What you can do is you can download this in PNG, JPG, WebP, and SVG. So all those format, and then you can choose what text you want to put here, what should be the alignment, what icon you want to put. So I can put any icon here. So if I put this icon will be shown here, and then I can put something, let's say like this, and this will be showed here. So you can explore here what exactly you're looking for, what sort of icon coloring. So this is one of the way. There are like multiple other ways also to do it. So this is one way that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is one thing. So the second thing is, this is the logo that I created. So generally how you want to create it, just let me do one thing. I will duplicate this slide, and what I will do is, if you click on this, everything is contact, right? I will just go here and ungroup it. So what I have done is I took a header here. If you see, this is movable, right? So I will push Ctrl Z. So if you see, I have put same one color on the top, and I have on the top I have a logo that's called as Ravi's content, and this is my logo that I'm using. This is the top section, and this is the bottom section that I'm using, and this is the Canva that I am going to use in Power BI. And if you see here, so if this is the entire one sheet, right, you can right click on this and you can export this thing. So save as picture, you can save this as your JPEG file or PNG file, whatever feel better for you, you can go ahead and save it. Let's see like what is the Power BI dashboard that I created out of it. So this is the view that I created. So I'll just start from very beginning, like how I did it. First I'll go to transformation data. So if you go to transform data, that everything is stored in like step-by-step procedure, like what I did. So let me expand a little bit. Okay, so this is for plant 1. How did I loaded this? If you see here, I loaded, if I click on this settings symbol, that will show me how did I loaded it. So I loaded from my laptop. This is my server name. If you remember, I showed you the same thing. I have to load from this server. I loaded from this server, and my database name is Mage AI. Even though if you won't give it, it will give you an option like which database you want to select. So you can go ahead, and otherwise you can use the SQL command to query it out if you want only certain things. So I didn't had any sort of difficulties here, so I didn't use SQL queries here, but you are free to do so. So this is one of the way, and you can create this. So before pushing the data, you can create those schemas. What I will do is I'll push this entire thing into my GitHub repo or somewhere, so that you can also go here. So if you remember the tables that you have seen in the SQL server here, this thing, so what actually it does is it's try to overwrite the same file whenever the ETL pipeline runs. So first time you have to create those schema. So this is the schema that I have created. It's a very simple SQL command. I think I can share this code with you guys also, or I will push this entire GitHub repo to the entire this folder into GitHub repo, so that you can get this code. So I just use create table command. This is my table name, plant 1 power data, and this is the all the column name like date, integer, and varchar, and all those things. Similarly for plant 2, exactly the same. There's no difference, just the plant 2 and plant 1. These are the create schema SQL command that I have used. This is the command, DML command, that I have used in my SQL server. Once that was done, I pushed the data into the SQL server using my ETL pipeline. I don't want to waste so much of time here because this specifically is for Power BI. So let's move to the Power BI piece. Okay, so this is how I loaded this data. If I go to navigation, this is what I got from my Power 1 data. So I selected only one table, that is Power 1 plant 1 power data. So it has all the rows, and I just wanted to add one more row that will give me a last row called plant name. So to add this thing, if you know how to add a column, this column, either what you can do, let me click on setting. So if you don't know how exactly I added this, so I given a plant name and I just put a plant 1. And do you want me to show you how exactly I did it? I went to add column section. So I added a custom column. So if you click on custom column, it will ask you what exactly you want to add it. So same interface you have seen here. So I gave what column name is, like let's say plant name, and then whatever name that you will give in double quote, that will be your plant name. So here it shows no syntax. You can click it and this will create one more column for you. And if you want to do more operation on the left, you can just drag this values. Okay, if you want to use this, you can double click this will come here. So this is actually how the custom column works. So you can explore more on this. So I have added a custom column here. This is plant name. Similarly for plant 2 also, it's the same thing. There's no difference at all. What I did is a custom column, I added the same thing, source, and added a custom column. Here what I have done here is I have combined both of them. So if you go here, earlier we'll have only power data and power plant 1 plant 2 data. If you go to let me see, if you go to home, there's an option called append queries. You can click on this. So what is the difference between merge query and append query? So I think you guys know. So merge is like, let's say I have a left table and I have a right table, and I want to merge based on, like, let's say I want all the data from left table, I don't want data from right table. So I can do left join, I can do inner join based on certain key, right? But append means like I just want to append, if the column names are same, just append those data on each other. So the column name should also always be the same. So it's not like you are using plant ID at one place and other place you are using plant hyphen ID hyphen something sort of that. So the column names should be consistent across all the different data sets that you want to append. otherwise it will create n different number of columns here. So yeah, and after appending it, you can for me, I just drop it down. I created a append query as new. So if you click this, it will show you an option like which table you want to append. Just click on to or more data table, just click on plant one. Sorry, it's already there. So okay, let me do one thing. I will try it again. So I have okay, now I have 3 or more tables. So plant 1 is already there. I will just push plant 2 also. Okay, so now table to append is plant 1 and plant 2. So this will create me a new table altogether, the same way that I created power data combined. So same way, same exactly. If I click OK here, it will create a new table. So the same thing what I did, I have all the data table together, and if you see on the filter on the top, I have both plant 1 and plant 2 should be there here. So now it's directly loading from the database. So there's 2 different concepts that you should go and Google about it. There is something called import queries and direct queries. So if you want to know more about it, okay, this is only for plant 1 that I was seeing, sorry here. So okay, so if you want to read more about it, you should go and definitely check out what is difference between import queries and direct query. Just to give you a very high level, so import query is something that you pull the data into a Power BI, and that you put a scheduled refresh to it. Let's say I want to refresh it 7 times a day. So that sort of cases will come in a Power import query. But direct query is something that you directly connect to database, so you don't have to care about refreshes. So every time your database changes, it dynamically updates your Power BI also. So, and then there are some more criteria related to gateways also, like how to install gateways, and if the data is on premise, there are some drawbacks also. So going forward, I might take some of the sessions on how exactly everything is done, and how to schedule refreshes, and how to automate a lot of stuffs within Power BI. So that's for future scope. Let's close it out for now. So this is how exactly I did the backend piece. And now in the front end, if I click on the, so just click on the Canva on the front end. So if you click on the Canva, it will show you the entire page here. So this is a visualization pane, and this is the data pane. So now what I have to do, I just had to do is I have to go to, let's say, give me 1 second. I will click on the background, and if you see the background, I will click on this icon called format pages. And if I go to Canva background, if you see, I have uploaded an image called BG image, right? Background image dot png. So this is the image that I have loaded here. So similarly, I explained you, right, how exactly you will export this. If you remember this png file, how to export it. So once you export this data, once you export this thing, you can save as image, and you can use that in your background. So exactly the same thing I did. Once that was done, I just created a text box. Inside the text box, I gave the name Power Generation Dashboard. Same thing. For this KPI, I just created a measure. If you see here, I have a measure called AC power. So it's not even a measure, I would say. It's a direct column that I use. It's a column, I think, yeah. So it's a column, and I'm taking the sum of the AC power. So it's giving me AC power. The same way I'm getting the DC power. I'm getting a slicer of plant 1 and plant 2 here, inverter ID slicer, and it's a date range slicer. So that's very easy and it's very easy to do. So let's go here. Here we have something called daytime. We took the daytime, and we wanted to show that what is the monthly / daily AC and power production by month. So let's say month kilowatt. So exactly, if you see here, for daily power for AC is this much, and DC for this much. So this is 1000 value, and you can just filter it out based on any day you want. So if I change the slicer, all the date will be contracted, and we have, I think, only 2 months of data there. So that's how it works. And on the bottom, if you see AC and DC performance ratio by inverter ID, so whatever inverter is selected, inside the inverter it talks about this is the AC performance and this is the DC performance, and what are the KPIs that we have created. All the KPIs formulas has been written down here. So in some important note, we have mentioned that we have data every 15 minutes for 34 days period. and what is inverter efficiency. So whatever column do we have in the table, and how did we derived it. So all these formulas and everything is written here, so that if a user comes and see the data, they can directly see this notes and get much more better clarity. So this is just a starting, I would say. It's not something that very tough to create. It was just a first view of it that we created. Just one thing that you have to keep in mind, that your color code should be consistent. So if I have to show you the, okay, where is the readme file for this? Okay, I think Power BI, yeah, I think this one, yeah. If you see, we have created this and we have made sure the color code should always be consistent. So we are using blue color in the background, orange is the text, and orange header is this. So these are the color codes that we have used in our case, and we have made sure that the color code remain consistent across. So you should also take care of those color consistent thing, because that's really matters in UI version, I would say, because generally people come and see it. It should be aesthetically pleasing to that people. Okay, that should be clean, and people and all the visuals should be aligned properly. So those are the things that we need to take care. And I think this is the first view that we created, and I don't think we have so much of things that we wanted to create, but eventually in future, if we had like some special criteria that we wanted to see this and that, then we can definitely try that. I think that's all we had for this video. If you guys have any concerns, doubt, or anything, please comment down below. I can try to answer those questions. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and see you next time. Bye.